Hey, how's it going? My name is jackiefishhh and welcome to Ancient Empires. This is probably one of my favourite mods of all time in Total War, and I'm so happy that it is finally going into open beta on the 18th of May. So be sure to check the link in the description down below so that you guys can go ahead and jump on and play this. I highly recommend it, especially if you are a fan of the old school historical games such as Rome 1. You know, this really reminds me of playing the Roma Surrectum 2 mod, which added so much depth to Rome 1 back in the day, and it's so good. And hopefully you guys will see a lot of the comparisons to that mod when we do jump in and play this Let's Play as the glorious Roman Republic. And I'm super excited to hopefully see what you guys think of the mod itself now that it is getting to that stage. So the mod, when it will come out on the 18th, is going to have a set of factions, the ones which are really complete right now. Rome is basically done. Obviously there's going to be some reworks and some stuff which we're probably going to change when we get feedback from you guys. Carthage is kind of getting there. Most of the Greek factions, or the Hellenic factions I guess I should call it, are basically done as well. Again, you know, they're kind of the same level as Rome almost. And then you also have a few Eastern factions. These Eastern factions, and I believe these Arabian factions, still need a little bit of work on them, but again, they're getting there. And hopefully as people get more and more into the game, as people give more and more feedback, they'll go ahead and kind of develop these factions, add more, as well as adding in some of the barbarian factions, because at the moment the barbarians are kind of the only ones that are really missing from the grand scheme of the battlefield. So, you know, it should be really exciting once they get added in as well. And they're also planning on adding in a bunch more features, so there's already so many features it'll just be impossible to list them off right now. To name a few, I guess, I just said it's impossible, but just to name a few, they've made some huge building chains which now cost you maintenance to upkeep, which goes ahead and puts a strain on your economy. So you can't just spam out buildings. You have to kind of almost pay attention to what you're doing in your empire. You know, crazy, right? They've also changed the way that fighting works, so you have to manage your fatigue and reinforce battle lines which are tiring, and pull out tired units, which is just the amazing battle mechanic. It really is so awesome to have to actually just bring out tired units to let them rest and kind of reinforce in your second line and your third line. It is just really cool. Technology is completely different. They've changed the way that diplomacy works, so it's much easier to get trade agreement. The economy is drastically different and will change per season to season as you get the majority of your money from food. So in the winter, when you're not producing any food, you're obviously not going to be making a ton of money, and you kind of have to almost, you know, budget for that and prepare for the winters. You know, if it's a harsh winter, that's going to hit your economy and that's going to hit your food supply, which is just really cool. And there's a bunch more other mechanics which we'll go through as we do jump into the game. And again, I feel like this is like something that you won't get on your first playthrough. I feel like we'll just go ahead and jump in as Rome as well. I did ask Petelius, he did tell me to play it on normal difficulty, one of the mod leads. If we look at our Imperial ambition traits, we get minus public order 20%, which is actually quite a lot due to foreign cultures when we do take other lands. So that's definitely going to affect us. We do get more administration and tax from provinces, as we are more of like an imperial force, and we also get more state cultural influence, which is kind of nice to convert the Carthaginian lands. We also get SPQR, which is kind of our faction specific. So we get Bread and Games, which is a great edict. No one else gets that. We also get loyalty from subjects, which in Rome, you know, maybe might not be the most realistic thing, but yeah, at this point, I guess it was quite loyal and for the empire. Then we also have a reduction in cost in political actions, obviously having the Senate and stuff, and also Roman plumbing having less sanitation, which is really important in Attila, so it's kind of nice to have that. So yeah, let's jump in. And as I was saying, like, I feel like this mod itself will take you a couple playthroughs to really get to grips with all the different mechanics and building chains and what to build and why this happened and why that happened. But I feel like that's kind of the sign of a great strategy game. You're not going to be a master of it straight away in your first playthrough. It's going to take you a couple times to kind of get the hang of it and understand fully what you're doing. I think that's one of the reasons why Paradox games are so good, because you don't immediately get that. There's a learning curve to the games, but once you do understand them, they become really awesome. And I feel like this mod is exactly like that. It'll take you a couple kind of turns and ideas to really get the fully grips with the mod itself, but once you do, it's going to be so much fun. It really is. So as you guys can see, we start off in the Second Punic War at Zama, and we are ready to fight Hannibal. It is Scipio versus Hannibal straight away off the bats, and I love the way that they've done this. I love the way that they've kicked you off immediately with a battle, and this is something I really hope Total War does in the future. Instead of just having these, 4 or 5 stack rebel armies outside your province as something to kind of wean you into battle, I want these huge, campaign-defining battles at the beginning. The first battle, I want a huge historical thing that will, give me bonuses throughout, like at the beginning of my campaign if I win, and if I lose, I want to kind of have a different path which I have to go down. And I really like the way that they've kind of created this script where if you do play as Carthage or you play as Scipio, you kick off at the Battle of Zama. So let's just jump straight into it and try and defeat Hannibal as Scipio Africanus. We're also playing on large unit scale, which is pretty crazy. I didn't want to go all the way up to Ultra because I felt like it was a bit crazy, but you can. If you have a good, really good computer like mine, you can probably rack it up to Ultra unit scale and have something like 260 men in a normal unit, which is, again, really crazy. Because at the moment, what we have 180, and these are just 220 stacks as well. So if you have 420 stacks, like a proper big battle, you're going to have over 12,000 soldiers. And if you stick it on Ultra, you're going to have like 20,000 men. I feel like, though, that the AI just wouldn't be able to handle it too much, so that's kind of why I've avoided it. So if we look at our infantry, and this is actually pretty important to kind of tell what your units are and what they can do. So, and I should say this as well, I'm going to take this campaign slow. I'm going to be reading stuff. I'm going to be immersing myself in the campaign instead of just trying to pile through everything. I'm going to take it slow and steady. And if that's not something you want to watch, if you don't want to watch me kind of being a bit role-playing, then maybe just, I know Legend of Total War's playing his own series, and he's obviously destroying the opponents like he's good at. So, if you want to kind of watch someone more like that, then be my guest. He's playing as Rome as well, and he'll be doing an excellent Let's Play. But I kind of want to take things a little bit more slower and go ahead and just really kind of role-play it in a sense. So hopefully you guys enjoyed that kind of aspect of it. But yeah, let's not, dilly-dally too long. So we have some Astarte. That's going to be kind of our main line, some cohorts. And again, these guys are obviously the Astarte and the Principes are going to be much more on my offensive units. So let's start off. I think I want to stick with the Astarte on the front line. I know historically they did have a mix of Principes and Astarte. However, I think I want to kind of go... Actually, no, I think I just want to have one fat line, because we don't have a huge amount of soldiers, and I know the Carthaginian, I know Hannibal is going to have a fat line. I think I'm going to do that, and then have the cohort units just behind that, so that they can reinforce. The skirmishers can go in there. We do have to be a little bit careful, because I know as well for a fact that Scipio does have a lot of long-range slingers in his army, which will hurt my forces quite a lot. I do believe, though, that we have a nice amount of javelins. We have a lot of this Numidian cavalry. And I'm going to go hard. I think on this right flank, I'm going to stick a lot of my cavalry, and then just stick this one unit of Numidian noble cavalry, which is more of a melee cavalry, over on this left-hand side. The Numidians obviously known for their heavy cavalry and their horsemanship. And maybe we'll even stick Scipio over on this left-hand side as well, so that he can fly himself into combat if he needs to. So yeah, I think this looks like a good formation. Let's start the Battle of Zama. Hannibal is going to be sitting back there, and we will just advance slowly but surely. I don't want to exhaust my men, because I think Vitellius told me, I'm not sure if he's changed it in, more recent patches, but the actual tiredness, the effectiveness of your soldiers goes down to, I think, 2% when they're exhausted, which is fine. If you clash 2 fresh units into one another, then it's kind of okay, because they're going to get exhausted around about the same time, so there's not going to be a huge power differentiation. But if you put in a completely noobish fresh unit up against a really elite one, that noobish unit is going to kind of have the advantage, because the exhausted elite one is fighting at such a poor... they've been fighting for hours, kind of technically, in the battle itself. And they can barely lift their hands to swing their swords. So obviously, a fresh soldier is going to take the advantage there. And that's why it's so important to keep them reserves and to go ahead and keep your soldiers nice. I'm just so excited that this mod is finally coming out. We have a ton of factions ready to go. Oh yeah, Hannibal does also have his elephants as well. But that's going to be scary, because again, the battle kind of mechanics in Ancient Empires also kind of works as you might see a lot of units not get many kills, but just simply rout the enemy. And that's when a lot of the killing takes place. It tries to go for more about a historical view of killing, like routing the enemy army and then killing it, because historically, normally it would be, instead of just getting, like a 1v1 right at the end as the entire battle unfolds, it'd be more about routing the enemy army, more about psychological warfare, the Battle of Cannae, that psychological effect of defeating the enemy and then cutting them down whilst the enemy are routing away, and that's kind of what I assume we'll be seeing a lot more in these battles. Now, as I said, I haven't played this mod in a little while, so it definitely could have changed, but we will continue just to advance. Luckily walking doesn't exhaust our units whatsoever, and we're starting to see a bit more of Hannibal's forces. So yeah, as I said, he definitely does have them slingers, and he's going for more of a dense formation there, which we can definitely take on. So let's move up to like there. And we have much more of an aggressive formation with our swords, whereas I believe Hannibal has a mix of these, a lot of these Iberian infantry. He does also have some of these Italian infantry as well, which he's gotten mercenaries like so, and obviously these elephants as well, proving a lot of strength there. So we're going to form up. Obviously, we're going to have to try and close the distance because he has slingers, and them javelins are going to hurt as well. But what we could do is to scare off his missile superiority is for our cavalry, and I definitely want to try and get my Numidian cavalry kind of up here a little bit quicker so that we can try and skirmish away his elephants. If I can pick away his elephants, then I will feel much better. Also, I should mention, sorry, I'm taking this battle really slow, but I kind of want to get across the mechanics in the battle itself. And I feel like just kind of taking it slow is always fun as well. We will engage very, very soon, though. I'll leave it on triple speed as well so you guys don't get too bored. So the AI will tend to try and form up multiple lines of reinforcements. As you can see, it tries to stick to a formation of having, soldiers to send up swords in the front, spears, and then having these reserve lines to throw in, in the last second. Okay, now is the time. We will make our move. We'll push up. I want to skirmish a cav as well, right? Yeah, so I think as soon as we're in range of these slingers, we're going to charge the enemy. Our javelins will try and take out them elephants. We also have a TREI, right? No, where's our TREI? Do we have... Oh, they're over here, right? Well, they're not TREI yet. We'll have to upgrade them. They have some pretty good attack, right, against large. I believe that, yeah, they're disciplined, so that's good. Defensive testudo, square. Do these give me any bonuses against, like, elephants? Attack against elephants, +1. Yeah, that's actually pretty big, because if you look on the left-hand side, the numbers are heavily reduced. So let's go out and try and be a little bit more aggressive here. I want to try and get my javelins in here as soon as I can. Our cavalry is kind of fine on that left-hand side. Oh, they're pushing their elephants forward. That's not good. Let's get all of these skirmishers, move them in. Can you guys form a testudo? Does that help at all? Not really. Okay, everyone run now into formation. Javelins, unload, please, on these elephants. Hannibal sending forward his elephants first. And the peeler should be going out as well. Take these elephants down, please. Come on. Bring them down. Bring them down. Good job there. Very, very good job. Our javelin cav as well is sending them back into the abyss. Nice. So, Hannibal did try to do that quite historical. Let's try and hold the fire on our rest of our infantry now. The javelin cav can hold off as well. Nice. We also got a really good charge off there. Let's bring back our cavalry over here on this left-hand side. And... yeah, that was actually a really nice engagement for us. Now let's select the rest of our soldiers, push them forward, and let's get ourselves stuck into combat. So let's push forward our front line. I'm actually going to run forward my front line and then just kind of walk forward my reserve line, I think. Yeah, we can engage that, and we can bring over some Jav Cav as well to help out. Javelins obviously can be a bit more aggressive maybe, start getting in there. We'll stick our cavalry around that left-hand side. Our infantry is pushing up as well. And I think, yeah, our infantry honestly wants to get into combat as soon as possible. Because the sooner this infantry gets into combat, the less damage they'll take from these skirmishers. So I know you guys might get a little bit tired, and obviously being winded isn't great, but getting up here and engaged is pretty important. So here we go. The AI is pushing up some of their forces, and we can envelop it. Why not? Some of the Iberian infantry. I don't want to kind of overextend though, so I'm actually going to hold the rest of my infantry line here. Yeah, hold there, please. You guys go round. You guys get a good charge off from their cavalry. Is that Scipio? Oh, Scipio himself is going ham, man. Rest of the javelins move up. Go off fire at will, though. I don't want to waste your ammunition. And then we'll also bring up our reserve line as well. Because, as I said, I don't want to kind of, you know, overextend these bad boys. Javelin cav, get out of there. It does look like our cavalry is going to be winning the day over here. Even though, again, they are against some half-decent Carthaginian cavalry. The citizen cavalry can definitely hold its own. I love the royal colours. They've also actually deployed a unit of their spearmen over here as well, which I might try to look to silence. I'm going to get all my javelins and try and focus down their missiles if I can. I'm also going to try and show you guys the way that the reinforcement system works, because it is very, very cool. I'll try and do it. So some of my units are getting tired now, obviously fighting. So as you can see, like, the fighting mechanic isn't bad as long as, like, the similar units do get tired themselves. So you'll see, like, you know, if both of these units get tired at the same rate, the difference in combat ability isn't going to be different. But if I go ahead and, for example, decide to push in, I don't want to kind of push in this unit because it's not as good. But just to, for example, to show you guys, we'll bring up a unit here. So what we need to do here is I'll move them guys over there as well. Like so, the javelins are having a field day there. Perfect, perfect, perfect. We'll bring around some of our Numidian cavalry. Who did we charge down here? We killed someone, but I think we need to get out of here now. Are you guys throwing your jabs as well? Yeah, please do. Cool. So they should be up here now. So what I do to reinforce here, without my unit just breaking because it's turned around, I charge in this unit over the top of this tired unit. I throw it into combat. And we'll go into normal speed for this really quickly. And let it go ahead and kind of really get stuck in there. Maybe do another double click or something just to get them fully up there. And then what I do is I just bring this unit back. That unit will disengage, the other unit will take control of the battle. I just felt like that was really, really cool. Now I can get this unit out and I can rotate my formations, right? I can keep my infantry, you know, constantly fresh and keep the front lines ready to keep on doing combat. You know, this unit really, really sucks, so I'm kind of annoyed at myself for doing that maybe, because I feel like that's going to maybe negatively affect me a little bit. Let's go and bring up our spears there to help out with this cavalry engagement. We're going to go sandwich their jabs there, though, which is nice. You guys may be focused. Oh, we've got more infantry here as well. And we want to try and probably envelop them there. Yeah, bring up the spears as well. Try and really commit. So I really like this way of fighting because it goes ahead and encourages you. Like, I guess it goes ahead and rewards you for fighting in a really, really dense formation instead of wide. I feel like in Total War, far too many times, all you end up doing is fighting in a really wide formation. So there's no negative to doing that. Whereas in this mod, you go ahead and get, you know, rewarded pretty heavily with having a fresh stream of units that can go ahead and reinforce and do a very good job. Oh god, this isn't good. Their cavalry's coming in. Luckily, it is just skirmisher cavalry, so we'll turn around and fight. And obviously, oh my god, this battle is not going in my favor either. What the hell is a balance of power? That's not good. Okay, let's go ahead and go full try-hard mode then. Let's go ahead and, this unit is tired, but this is a starter unit. Let's throw in. We're going to rout a lot of their skirmishers here, which is exactly what we have just done. Yeah, we're going to rout their army. I think the balance of power is very deceptive. Let's go ahead and hammer and anvil right here. I think my infantry line is more than capable of staying around. We'll send the Numidian cavalry down here to kill their skirmishers. Yeah, we've smashed their front line. And obviously, the further you get into the campaign as well, the bigger and longer battles you will have, because units will be much more inclined, you'll have more experience, they'll be much more inclined to stick around, and you'll be getting more elite units. So it's more about, you know, breaking the enemy rather than killing them. You know, you're seeing these huge bulks of infantry routing because, you know, they're getting tired, they're being enveloped. They don't have a general nearby, and that stuff you can minimize. You know, if you want to, you can go ahead and, you know, a unit can survive when it's completely surrounded if you have the appropriate things in place. If it's fresh, if it's an elite unit, if you go ahead and have the general nearby, popping rally or something, that's great. And I think this battle, you know, mechanic will take a little while to fully get used to, you know. It's going to take a while to kind of fully understand how it does work and how to fully optimize it and stuff. But, you know, it obviously is a learning experience. Yeah, you can see, like, yeah, the Libyan shield bikers, they're tier 2. But obviously, you know, they're completely surrounded right there. They're pretty tired as well. They're very tired. So their fighting capability isn't great. They're fighting fresher units. Hannibal himself is being surrounded. Hannibal Barker, his unit though, for example, is holding off. He's not always routing now because he just hit very tired. But before that point, he was holding even though he was completely surrounded. Let's make sure we continue to fight the enemy positions here, continue to hit their range units. And obviously army attrition also plays quite a big part. So if the army sees it starting to lose, that will affect morale as well quite heavily. So let's continue to move around and surround the enemy positions. Our spearmen are fighting. Luckily though, this enemy unit is exhausted, so I think even though they are steady, their morale is starting to break because their army is just falling to pieces. They only have 300 men left remaining. Our cavalry is doing a good job at routing the enemy in the field. Nice, and I think that's going to be it for Hannibal himself. I am playing on normal. Did I change the difficulty to normal? I think I did. I was told to put the difficulty on normal, at least at this stage, whilst they figure out what's the optimal. So that's again why it might be a little bit easy. It's obviously something that they're currently looking into. What's the most optimal difficulty? I was just told to be more safe than sorry, to stick the battle difficulty on normal for now, just in case anything bad happens. I think my last playthrough we played on very hard, and there was a lot of big negative modifiers in the campaign itself. Not so much the battle, but the campaign, which really affected it. I'm also going to probably stick away from taking on the warriors because I feel like it's kind of a cheap way of just getting unit replenishment. And I kind of want to get my units to have experience in a sense. So we're simply just going to kill the captives. I don't want to go ahead and... I don't want to go ahead and take... ransom them because we're in enemy territory and I don't want my supplies or my intrigue to go down fully. Welcome to Ancient Empires. Just good done. Look at that. 21 minutes into the episode, and we're only now looking at the beginning of the stream. That's why I kind of like these huge battles. Granted, we are taking it pretty slow, so that's obviously going to be one of the reasons. I really like dig this as well. I know DEI has this, where it goes ahead and gives you a brief history of what happened historically in the year. Obviously, the Battle of Zama right there, 130 kilometers southwest of Carthage in the Second Punic War. So I think historically the Second Punic War ended now after the Battle of Zama, right? Does it say that? And then we march on, Hannibal loses 20,000 men in that battle, which is pretty crazy. And we've gone ahead and unlocked a I guess a long-term objective. If we go ahead and defeat the faction and raise the remaining settlements, so basically destroy Carthage and we'll raise it to the ground, we go ahead and obtain this triumph. Carthage conquered. And I believe all the other factions have something similar to this, which will basically just go ahead and push you forward in the campaign. This will be triumph, Carthage conquered. So basically like the first initial thing. And it's not a huge bonus, but it's nice. It gives you some more public order and morale for 100 turns, which is really cool. I think the Macedonians have something like King once they conquer their first regions, again kind of reinstating their power in the Greek peninsula. So our army is somewhat depleted, and I think as always we have to go down to Hadrumentum and try and take that out next turn, because we desperately need to get the replenishment of being in a port city. So I think that's what we could obviously march on Carthage itself, but if I'm not mistaken, Carthage does have an okay garrison. Obviously losing Hannibal is going to be bad, and they're going to recruit another army there, even though they have just lost 20,000 men as it was. I don't know, actually, maybe playing on large would have been okay, but these units would have been like 300 and something big. I don't know, I feel like late game it would have just got way too crazy. So yeah, let's go ahead and look at our empire management. So since the last time we did look at the mod itself, they've gone ahead and changed the scaling of the denarii down just to make it more accessible for people, which I think is probably a smart idea. Having the huge numbers was cool, it gave a good sense of scale. However, I think it's just easier to understand when it is much smaller. So if we look at our empire, we can now see, I'll show you guys this as well. We'll build a new building in Rome. We'll build a new building in Rome. Look at how many goddamn buildings they are. This is awesome. Everything from stuff for your military. I mean, look at that. All of this stuff, you can then go, obviously if you want to go for government buildings, these are kind of acting as a government inside the province itself. So you can go ahead and focus, and all of these regions kind of act as a different mechanic, giving public order. Some allow you to, you know, for example, this one right here, self-govern. This region enjoys a certain degree of independence, being governed by a local authority, and that kind of institutes different stat bonuses because of that. And to take that even a further, on your foreign provinces, which aren't kind of Roman bound, like Corsica or Sardinia, you have stuff like this, where you do have tributary states, which aren't technically Roman, but they are within your empire, and because they are, you know, classed as a tributary state, they go ahead and give you income and allow you to raise men. However, some units don't allow you, some government types don't allow you to raise men. So I really like the way they've gone ahead and influenced the way that your government buildings kind of show what the faction is within your empire, instead of kind of having tribute, like, you know, a tributary state in like the actual game, like in the diplomacy. For example, you know, these factions were over here on my tributary. I really like the way how they've kind of taken it to an empire level, and made you look within your empire to do this. I mean, if we look in Rome, we have kind of Roman colonies, whereas outside they're very, very different. And you can change these, and each of these do have their different effects and their different style. For example, this is a free state, which will give more public order and kind of make them a bit more Roman. But you can't go ahead and recruit units from them. So you really have to weigh up what you want from your empire. And that's why I'm saying it'll take a little while to get used to that. I think, though, over here, we want to build this right away. Urbanization is a huge problem. Is it this, or was it something else? I know urbanization is a massive problem. No, it's this, right? Is it this? I know for a fact that urbanization is a really big issue in the campaign. You know, especially, or at least in Rome, a lot of people travel to Rome, and the more and more people that are there. Oh no, it's this one right here, right? No, it's not. God, that's what I'm saying. It will take a little while to get used to. I think it is this, actually. But maybe they've changed it since I've last looked at it. Yeah, they must have changed it since I've last looked at it. Okay, well, that's fine. I guess we'll just build like an Odeum maybe in Rome, or maybe, oh, we'll definitely get a Colosseum here, and we can always come to it a little bit later on. Because originally in the mod, there was a thing called urbanization, which I'm sure is a thing. So basically, the bigger the city gets, the more people that flood to the city itself, they go ahead and obviously become unhappy if their needs aren't met. So, you know, if Rome has a huge population, it will go ahead and, you know, become unhappy over time. Also, you can see that buildings do cost maintenance now. You know, all these buildings which kind of offer something, for example, like roads or the aqueducts, they're going to cost your faction, you know, a certain amount of money. So you can't just go crazy and build a ton of buildings that don't offer anything. There's also food in the mod. Obviously, food does change through different seasons, and you really have to kind of take a look at fertility and what, you know, really affects it. So let's take a quick look at our fertility, actually, whilst we're here. Food, fertility. So down here in the south, we have a 4 base fertility, and as we go north, oh, that's actually really good there, up by there. And Carthage is obviously really fertile as well. So I think, obviously, we probably want to try and build some more farms down here. I believe if we take a look at the beginning region itself, we can see their faction effects. So, yeah, so we want to look at what one is this. This is Rhygium, which is this one. No? Oh, it's this one, yeah. So they have a farmland +8, which is really nice. Yeah, so we want to have more. We want to basically build food in this region because it gives the best modifier of food. And I really like what they've done. A lot of these tooltips are much more explaining of what they do now. You know, it basically just says, you know, farmland +8 fertility level. Regions with large farmlands are better capable of supporting their population. So basically, you know, when you build farms, which we will do here, it'll be good because, you know, you get 10 additional food per local fertility. So obviously you want to build more farmlands here, which is exactly what we're going to do. We still have 8 grand left, which is good. And I know we have a very vast empire because this is just after the second, you know, Punic War basically has come to an end, which does mean we're going to have a lot of these provinces we want to try and keep happy. And I think a lot of these, oh no, this is 100% Latin, so I guess maybe building a government building here would be nice. Obviously going to cost us a bit of money to build that government building. Maybe even building a well here as well. A well here as well. Do we not have any? Oh no. That's not good. I was kind of hoping... Oh, yeah, we do right there. Public well. That should sort out the sanitation. Again, it's a lot of money, you know. 300 gold for just a province over here. It's going to eat away at our income. And then we have Carthage over here. Can we recruit anyone? We do have an army over here. We can only recruit tribes. So recruitment is also very different in this mod. It has more of like a local recruitment idea more than anything else, that you kind of recruit like auxiliaries from the regions, and you can only really recruit Roman units in Rome itself. So you kind of be building armies in Rome and sending them elsewhere to the frontier, which is a mechanic I really do like. But these regions are semi-happy. I guess we do want to try and develop these regions as best we can, especially probably build more of a military base. Do I have any buildings that go ahead and give me a better garrison? I think it's this, right? This goes ahead and provides more of a garrison. So let's go ahead and try and simulate this. This is very expensive though. 1,000 gold for it. My God, that's a lot. But I think we're going to have to. And it's very cheap to build, but to keep it operational, it's costing me a lot of cash. But I think I'm going to do that. And then we're going to build the gold mine down here, right here. Because that should help us out. Costs us money, but gives us 50 gold to go ahead and trade around. I don't want to spend... I think that's all the money I'm going to spend now. Maybe build like a... we want to build like a church over here in Ajax. Consecrated grounds right here. Gives more public order and more Latin influence. Costs us a bit of money. So I want to kind of wait until these buildings are built so I see how much money I have left. Next, we'll take a look at diplomacy. As I said, factions are much more inclined to trade with you, which is something I really like. It pisses me off so much. And like they actually kind of seem semi-smart, you know. They're like, oh, you want to trade? Sure. Pay us a bit of money to trade. You know, we obviously benefit a lot more from this trade agreement, so we will go and send that out. You also have to be very careful with who you trade with as well, by the way, because if you trade with the wrong people, the other factions who don't like them will take a bad eye on you. So because I just traded with this faction, you know, as they kind of see, oh, who are they friends with, who are they not friends with, you actually have to be really careful. So, for example, I might not want to trade with Rhodes because Macedon don't like them. I think Macedon's at war with them right now. Yeah, Macedon's at war with them right now. So I maybe want to try and avoid that, just to not anger them as much. And, you know, factions like this will trade with, so they don't want to trade, which is, I guess, fair enough. They don't really like me as much. Macedon, for example, probably don't want to trade, no, which is absolutely fine. A lot of these other factions, a lot of factions I have noticed do end up coming to me as well. Like Gyria would be a good faction to make, like, to like me, because as I said, my armies are down. No, they don't want a non-aggression either. My armies are obviously down here. You know, Scipio is his army. Wait, is this? No. Yeah, this is Scipio's. They're both called Scipio. This is just Lucius. Yeah, Lucius is over in Spain to keep this happy, which is good. And I might actually move this army over here into this region because Carthage isn't actually that unhappy. -4, but we can sort that out over time. Now, something I haven't really done is worked on my food besides that one province, and we're going to see in winter that negatively affecting me. Is there anything else I need to keep an eye on? Yeah, sorting out food production in these regions is also kind of important, but we can do that in the future. Because I believe not having enough food in the region also affects it. Like, it does import it, but overall. So, yeah, over here, native discontent is pretty big. Reason of the unhappiness, which should really be quelled, or at least somewhat be quelled by building this. And obviously also provide me a good garrison here. Do I want to maybe convert this building to something else? So, over in Spain, we only have 2 province capital abilities. Oh, so this kind of allows me to recruit more of the units over here, but this makes it kind of more of a stronghold. So if I was to convert it to more of a, I imagine the land has been confiscated by your soldiers and distributed to new owners, whereas at the moment it is an independent state. So if I was to do this, I would get 5 units as a garrison to defend the castle, and more money as well. But this kind of keeps this keeps the natives happy. It's -60% right now, and it's already -18. So if I was to get rid of that, I would be heavily affected. Yeah, don't need to do any of that. I think we're ready to end our turn. Oh my god, sorry guys. I know this is 34. Oh no, fucking no, we're not. We're nowhere near. Well, we are near, but we still got a bunch of stuff to do. Sorry that it's taken me a while to do this. I just want to take things slow, you know, kind of fully understand the game, because I really want to take control of the Seleucids next, and when I do that, I want to kind of understand the game itself a lot more. So I think picking up the next Hispanic arms. Yeah, technology is completely different, and they've completely revamped it, adding in new abilities, new names, and it's kind of almost like you're passing laws every technology you do. So for example, this is the Hispanic arms law, where you go ahead and reform the military, and down here is kind of got the land law, which gives you better estates and stuff. I love the way that they've done this. I just love this mod. It's just so in depth, and it just brings me back to the old days. So let's sort out the governors now. We have quite a few governors to mess around with. One of the things I really wish that they did show, and it's unfortunate they don't, is it's something to do with Attila. I really don't know what their abilities are. Oh, they've also changed this all up as well. That's awesome. Because that's one of the things I really complained about in Attila, is that the general trees are just so bad. And like looking at this stuff is actually really important as well. Well, that's something I haven't even seen yet. This is great though. So this guy's a good manager. He has +1 management and also more loyalty. So I think probably sticking Lucius to Rome would be a good idea, unless there's anyone better. You recover from wounds faster, which is fine. 5 movement, so I want you to be more of a military man. Again, you're more of a commander. I love this. This is so awesome. 10 campaign movement range is insane. Movement range is king in the campaign. So does anyone else have like a really good... Sanitation is kind of nice. Command and upkeep, so you're more of a commander, Cato. Good old macro and Cato. Shout out to the Simon Scarrow books. Classic. So yeah, I think that is going to be one of our better abilities. So yeah, let's go ahead and stick you. You're nice and loyal. You can go in Italia, which is Rome. Then we have 4 of these guys we can do. I guess we want to stick in Rome for the money, and then probably the foreign regions like Carthagenova and stuff, and then over here. So yeah, let's stick, was it Gaius also had one? You recover from wounds faster, which isn't that important. I think though, sanitation, yeah, let's get sanitation over in Baetisa. I don't know how to pronounce that, because that has a gold mine there, which will boost up the negative sanitation, so we want to try and counter that with him there. And again, I guess you're a pretty good manager as well, so we'll stick you down here. We'll stick you over in Corsica and Sardinia. Yeah, so we'll keep you happy there. And then finally, we have one more to assign. I guess Magna Graecia? Wait a second. Is that a different province? Did I stick him in the wrong one? No, that's that region. Oh, we also hold this as well. Oh my god, we hold so much territory. I did not realize we held all this territory. Because in the previous mod, these guys weren't roaming armies. Oh god, we have so much to do. Wow, we really do. We're making good money though, but obviously it's going to go down once all our buildings are done. So yeah, let's go ahead and finish off our governors. So we have one more governor, and I guess we'll stick it in Magna Graecia. I think one of these guys. Yeah, let's just stick Gaius down here. Yeah, do I want to stick him in there? I don't know. Maybe sticking him over in Spain would be a good idea. Or maybe saving him for Carthage would also be a good... Oh no, Macedon. Yeah, I kind of want to keep my Macedonian provinces happy, so we'll do that. So now we'll have edicts to obviously pass. So let's sort that out. So over in Bactria, what do we... Oh, so many edicts as well. It's awesome. So Bread and Games gives less tax income from the province, but makes them a lot happier. More income from slaves as well. Conscription gives us less tax and less public order, but gives us more recruitable population, cheaper things. We can increase taxes, obviously, you know, says what it does in the sin, or also lower taxes. Import food, obviously export food. We can open borders, which gives more public order and income. We can enforce law and order. Less tax, but less corruption, public order. So let's go over here, enforce law and order. It's going to make us less money, but should hopefully overall make the province happy, because it will decrease the native discontent. Let's do that. Then I believe we have one over here as well. Is native discontent? Yeah, native discontent is hurting over here. So we'll send local garrisons to guard the roads and keep the streets free from bandits and corruption. Yeah, let's do that. We'll do that there. Then over in Rome, what do we want to do? I mean, Rome itself isn't happy. What's affecting Rome? Just food shortages? Oh, so I might actually build some food over here as well. What region is the happiest? Well, what region develops the most food right now? So where does it say food? Farmland is -4, -4, and -4. So it's not great in any of these, really. So farmland probably isn't the best in these regions. Yeah, so this is because these guys are urban regions. Oh, that's really cool. I love how it shows like these urban regions are shown by like the temple, whereas down here in the south, it's kind of, this is more of a rural area. And oh, that's really cool. I love this mod, man. It's so good. And again, sorry, we're like 40 fucking minutes into the episode and I haven't even done my first turn. I hope you guys don't mind. I hope you understand, but I'm trying to take it slow and steady to keep stuff happy. Also building, better. That would actually help us out in the long run. But I think I want to try and build a granary. We're already improving. Oh, no, that's a thing. Yeah, we want to try and build a granary maybe around here. So Irinium. Irinium is here. Let's go ahead and build a granary here if we can. Oh, there's a forum as well. Does forum give us any food? Public order would be nice. We'll probably build that next time because, yeah, it has a pretty big cost to build that great forum if we want to. Just in the long term. So let's build like a granary if we can. Is there going to be a granary here? We could also get some grapes as well. A vineyard would be kind of nice. Yeah, do we have a granary? Yeah, we do. So let's build a granary over here, and then we'll probably build a vineyard. Fuck it, we'll build a vineyard as well. So buildings themselves don't cost much to build, really. The vineyard would be nice for trade. But overall, like, they do tend to... Oh, God, what did I just do? Not mean to do that. Cool. So, like, yeah, over the long term, it should be good. And again, we have to remember as well, we are in, autumn right now? We still have edicts, God, my bad. In Rome, what do we want to do? Maybe import food, but we do get a lot of money here. What do I want to do here? Open borders could be kind of nice. Because we're going to be obviously very Roman anyway. We're only actually 65% Latin. Lowering taxes could be kind of nice. Importing food as well. I don't really know what I want to do. I think this, we're going to maybe build like a Colosseum and stuff. So opening borders would give us just more trading coming. I imagine a lot of trade does go through Rome itself. Like up here. I imagine this trade route is going to be very popular. And obviously the land trade as well. So let's open borders there. And then finally we have Macedon. Again, I think we'll just do the enforced law and order to reduce that. Native discontent isn't actually that bad over here. What religion are they? Out of interest. So they're Macedonian. So yeah, we really need to try and convert that actually. So I'm actually going to build consecrated ground here instead. I thought that was Latin for a second. So yeah, let's go ahead and end our first goddamn turn. That's awesome. It's taking us this long. I mean, obviously I could have done it a lot faster if I wasn't trying to tell you guys and talk through everything. But how awesome is that, We just really went ahead and, built our empire up from the ground up. And that, I thought that was really, really cool. So we might get some offers or some declarations of war at the beginning of the game. When I played solo, I did get quite a few other factions asking for trade and stuff, but because I don't think I did the diplomacy much, that might affect us, obviously. So nice, no. So the council have actually been destroyed. Lots of war being declared by around the world straight away. Ooh, lots of war in Spain as well. And we lost trade. Oh, trade has been dissolved over in Spain almost immediately because that faction did get defeated. Which isn't good. We kind of sided with the wrong horse there. The boy have been encountered as well. At least our wells have been done in Macedon. That's kind of nice. Which should help with the sanitation. I say it helps. It doesn't really. Again, the maintenance... Actually, the maintenance cost isn't too bad. So let's go ahead and move up to better well systems. And once the consecrated ground is done, the Macedonian coast up there should be pretty decent. Or I guess the Illyrian coast, even though Illyria is kind of a bit higher up, should be a bit better off. Our economy is okay, but I think a lot of our buildings which are being built are two-turn buildings. So I think our economy is going to take a hit. But summer is the most profitable month. So once summer is done, yeah, that's going to be painful once that's built. The gold mine should help out a bit. Yeah, so we're going to have to kind of... I think I'm going to save my war chest up a little bit. And let's move on Hadramante and just take that out. This will be a good kind of launching point. Yeah, so they have the walls. So balance of power bar seems a bit skewed. Like, obviously, I clearly have the advantage here. But it gives the AI a pretty good bonus, so you kind of almost have to fight this. Granted, my units aren't amazing, and they do have some okay units. But we can starve them out and stuff. There's no immediate rush. We'll build ourselves a set of siege towers and some ladders, I think, and then also a battering ram. And we'll probably siege them out for like 2 turns before really pushing on them. Do we take attrition? We don't take attrition, which is nice. Or maybe we do, and I just don't know. Also, I guess our men are quite depleted as we do merge them up. But we have enough to take the city, for sure. I think though as well, yeah, I think as well that the city gets destroyed a lot quicker. So if I siege him out for 2 turns, this wall strength will go down a lot more, and breaches and war escalation will fire a lot quicker. At least it did in the older version, which I messed around in, and it seemed a lot better. So yeah, I think next turn we're going to suffer from... We should also be getting a bit more money as well. God, this is going to... I don't know if we're going to suddenly just start losing a ton of money because the maintenance cost is too high. Maybe I've expanded too quickly. Hopefully public order, though, is going to slowly start to sort itself out. Yeah, nice. This region is happy. And once that gold is built, that should make us much more appealing to other factions to trade with. Obviously, because we have gold now. Where are you guys going? You coming over to... Yeah, I wonder where you are going. Macedon are busy fighting all the goddamn Greek states. There's so many of them to fight. I think they start off with war with like 5 factions. That's a little bit scary as well because we don't really have a great army there. And that's one of the enemy factions. Oh god, here we go, here we go. So who's attacking them? Yeah, you're very big. You're like all of that, right? Yeah, I'm gonna... Oh, this is bad because this is gonna set like this will have consequences. My other vassals won't like me as much, but I don't want to go into open war in Spain. Like, we're very undefended. We need to defeat Carthage as soon as we can so that we can move on. Like, I'm just going to have to let them go do their own thing. And, you know, I just don't want to go into open warfare in Spain as long as I can avoid it. Now, obviously, if someone declares war on me, I kind of have to. So, yeah, the year is 201 BC. Some pretty interesting stuff. Carthage sues for peace in the Second Punic War after being obviously defeated, losing a ton of men. So over here, we can't recruit any men at the moment. And they're coming in with a 12 stack. Granted, I believe we have some garrison here. Or we will have some garrison here soon enough. And I think defending the gold region is really important. If they raid this, it's kind of okay. We can probably hold them off, or at least do damage to them so that this army can move in. But I think defending the gold region is really important. Oh, it's actually winter. God, did I... Oh, yeah, obviously it was summer when we began. Sorry, I got a little bit confused because these have changed. So it's winter right now. We're still making money. A lot of our buildings have been built. We're making okay food, which is good. The Granary is obviously really helping out here. Okay, perfect, perfect, perfect. How is the city faring now? So as you can see, already, the city's lost 12% of its settlement strength. And I really dig the way it speeds it up. Again, the manpower isn't too much in our favor. Obviously, not having a full stack doesn't help. We'll probably build ourselves a couple more siege towers, I think. A couple more ladders. And then next turn, we will attack with the extra wall strength going down. There should be a breach or 2. And we will be ready to go. Yeah, do we want to spend it? I think we don't want to spend it. We actually have an okay amount of money. Is there anything that will really help us out and make more money? Obviously, having more trade would be very good. And you make a bit more money, but it's just so much more cost. At least Rome is happy now, though. The food issues are still plaguing us. But yeah, actually building up to a large granary does it give an additional 70 food, or does it just give... I feel like it just gives an extra 10 food, which really isn't that important. I could obviously improve the farmland though, which would help, and it wouldn't cost me too much. I'll do that. Now again, these I don't want to build too much farmland here because these regions are obviously more designed for industrial buildings. So I wonder if there's like an industrial building I can get here. Let's have a look. Is there an industrial? I guess it's just granaries, right? Granaries would sort out the food issues here. I mean, I've kind of built this here as well. So I kind of need to build something here. I mean, we've already built this, and we're obviously going to upgrade it. It's going to create more squalor, though, so we do need to probably improve the public fountains at some point. Or work down technology-wise and get, you know, another form. Oh, an olive garden could be kind of nice as well. I mean, you know, more resources the better, really, right? Yeah, I wouldn't mind that, honestly. I'm kind of tempted to pick up them olives. Military workshop if we have iron. Oh, that's nice. Extra armor. I also like how the first tier is 10%. I feel like in other Total Wars where it's like 5%, 10%, and 15% for what tier 1, 2, and 3 really doesn't make too much of a difference. I guess we'll build the olive gardens. It's just too much to give up, right? Yeah, let's build the olive gardens here. Now give us, you know, some more tradable resources, really, you know, focusing on trade. And does anyone else like us? So the Cane League, they're at war with Macedon again. I don't know if I want to anger Macedon or not. or if I want the Achaean League to be on my side. Do you guys want to trade now?
You are welcome.
You don't. Okay. But with that resource now, we make a ton of money if factions do want to trade.
Greetings to you.
No, again, yeah, we don't really have much friendship. You know, we are minus friendship, so no wonder there. Oh, but you like me as well. Did I not sort this out last time?
We will talk and then
You don't want to trade with me either. Come on. Trade with me, boys. Don't know why not. I always hated this in Total War. Like, I wish they would just tell me why they don't want to accept, like Stellaris does. Stellaris offers you a clear example of why, you know, what's stopping you from getting happiness with that faction, and I really do dig that. So we have a church here. What do we want to do? I guess something that reduces native discontent, right? Well, actually, food is kind of a big issue over here. Native discontent really isn't too bad, but the squalor should be sorted out soon enough. So I guess something just offers us a lot of happiness and converts them as well. So that's kind of nice. You know, Sacred Grove gives public order, but gives more native discontent, I guess. Yeah, it kind of sucks. But I guess native discontent is going down. So this is kind of good for Latin pre-existing places. War of Shrine of Mars obviously going to be more about recruiting soldiers. I love as well how they use a lot of these Rome 1 buildings as well. It's great. So this shrine gives better research rate, actually. I imagine, yeah, it develops quite nicely as well. So the tech trees, I mean, the building trees are just so awesome. So much to look at. Construction cost is kind of nice. Is there 1-4 like to decrease native discontent, or do they all just improve in like make native discontent worse? So yeah, I guess I want one to. I guess because it's like a temple that no one wants to worship at, right? So I guess this one, right? This gives. What gives the most Latin culture as well? This one, the Shrine of Jupiter. And I guess, I don't know. I kind of like giving up the Latin discontent just to get the flat bonus and sanitation. And Latin culture isn't too bad. It's still free, which is the same as the other ones. Yeah, let's pick up the Sacred Grove. But sanitation isn't going to be an issue, really, is it? What's more expensive as well? They're both. Oh no, yeah, they're both 800 gold. God, that's expensive. Actually, fuck it. We're just gonna leave it for now. We might have to deploy an army there at some point in the future, but for now we're fine. Over here, we are still destroying the walls. I think one more turn, and we said we were gonna go to war. Okay, great. Do I want to look at anything else? Yeah, the objectives, we still want to destroy Carthage because it will give us some good bonuses. The extra public order for 100 turns is really nice. Yeah, we got some good bonuses. Basically, just I love how Attila is just survive. You know, that's all it is. Just simply survive to a certain date and you win the campaign. Obviously, whilst holding other places as well. So Carthage are moving around here. I thought we might have to engage the enemy forces. Oh, it's 2 turns in as well, so we should be able to get our technology. Yeah, so you're coming over, and I imagine... Oh, you're going to attack my army. This is perfect. We can sally out with the support of the garrison, the extra 5 for Starty, and we should be able to smash this roaming horde, which is obviously loyal to Carthage. I'm really happy they didn't go for my other province, because I think that would have been deadly and very detrimental. So yeah, there we go. Predicted income is not great. Not great at all. And I imagine... Is that because we're in autumn, maybe? I don't know. No, it's summer right now. Oh, this is in summer as well. That's really bad. We could lose control now. We'll pay him off. So yeah, we're losing a lot of cash right now. Trying to secure diplomacy would be great. War declared. Oh, that's kind of interesting. Yeah, this has hurt us out a lot, but it gives us such a good garrison. Like, I really want to keep it because it keeps... Oh, they raided us? Is this an army? Oh, they're besieging us as we speak. It looks like a very nomadic army, which with the support of the reinforcements, yeah, we can just smash this army. There's a lot of cavalry, a lot of skirmishers, which is to be expected from a roaming horde. You don't really expect a lot of heavy infantry, right? We will just auto-resolve it, though, because that'll be a very frustrating army. We want to try and kill it if we can. Oh, that's probably why our economy's so bad, because they're sieging us here. I imagine we'll see our economy go right back up. We'll take the money as well. Will that change? Probably because all of these buildings got destroyed, maybe. I hope it's because these buildings got destroyed, so they're no longer giving us cash. because it'd really suck. Because I imagine, you know, that gold gives us a lot of money. We're obviously going to go smash that army now. Without the support of the extra Hastati there, not too great. But I want to make sure we kill this force. Again, I guess we'll take the money on, because we do desperately need it. Nice, and we leveled up as well. Perfect. Yeah, the money was good. So let's move back into the region. And let's see. Oh, it's a commander leveled up. I guess we want something again. Maybe gives him more command. Command gives... Oh, nice. The extra command. More integrity. More morale for units. And increase... And that's really good, actually, because the general present or personal aura in battles really helps out. Oh, I also love this as well. We have all of these stuff as well to mess around with. It's really cool. Actually, though, getting more influence would be kind of nice. I really, really dig these. I really do. So this is like more influence rather than anything else. That's a really good ability down there. In Gotham Province here. So I guess we'll go down the officer training. Oh, he would have been a really good governor, actually. Maybe we'll have to reform him off and put him into being a governor. Okay, so that should all repair, which is nice. That has been built, but I feel like it just offers us... Wait, what? I swear it was supposed to give us 5 Hastati. Or is that like the top building? No. I swear that gave us 5 Hastati as the garrison. Because if that is the case, it's kind of not worth it. I could have sworn I said 5 Hastati. Oh no, I'm looking at this right, yeah. I'm an idiot. Is that worth 1,000 gold? We're going to wait a turn and see how our economy is fixed once that battle is over. We're also going to obviously push forward and take this city out. But that's all going to be for next episode. So hopefully you guys enjoyed this. I know I guess if you didn't enjoy me taking it really slow, you're probably not watching it at this point, honestly. So, I mean, I guess, yeah, who cares? If you're still watching, then I really do appreciate it. Hopefully you guys are enjoying this. Oh, building better roads. We just need money now, I think, though. Stuff that just gives us, you know, a lot more cash. That cash done mana. So I'm probably going to look around the Empire off camera and see what we should probably focus on upgrading and improving. Just to obviously get to a better economy on the go. And we'll end the turn as well to see what happens. Obviously taking this province, we'll probably... Like, also let me know in the comments as well. What should we do here? Should we raise these provinces to the ground? Should we occupy them? What should we do in Carthage? Do let me know in the comments down below. I feel like we have to salt the ground. Because in Attila, you can actually just abandon the province and destroy it as if you are salting everything. So maybe we'll have to salt Carthage. What do you guys think? Let me know in the comments down below. If you enjoyed this, please be sure to drop a like and a comment down below. And obviously make sure to check out the forum. The mod comes out itself in beta, so obviously still a work in progress on the 18th of May. So definitely go check it out. And I will see you guys in the next one.